school, y'all know the drill. I gotta get paid, I gotta eat. So please be sure to check out Car Marshal and check out those prices. Or, do me a favor, click this link. Click this link as much as you can and check out the site. Check out the site, check out the prices, and I get paid per click. So make sure y'all go on that site and check out those prices because it helps me a lot.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey my wonderful sweet babies, it's Destined Choice and welcome to my second channel. Now today I'm eating my Panera cheddar broccoli soup, and while I enjoy my cheddar broccoli soup, I really wanted to give my thoughts on the rapper NoName and what's going on right now. And a lot of her fans aren't very happy with her, and I'm going to explain today in this video. Now for a lot of you guys who don't know who NoName is, here's a quick breakdown of who she is. NoName is a rapper who was born Fatima Ward, who basically grew up in Chicago, Bronzeville. She got her start in 2010 doing slam poetry, poetry nights when she was in high school, and then she later transitioned into the rap world, and then she later got discovered by some of the greatest rappers right now, J. Cole, Frank Ocean, and many more rappers. She even got the opportunity to be on Chance the Rapper's huge mixtape, Acid Rap, back in 2013, and from there, her following skyrocketed. So she's been popping since 2013, but she never really got the mainstream attention that she deserves. She's a very beautiful, talented girl, and her image is just very soulful, poetic, very edgy hipster. She's not the typical female artist.
I don't have to try here. Can I get my 2 sugars, please? Jesus made an album. I'm still waiting in the line for cream. She's dreaming technicolor, look black and white. Opportunity knocking, a nigga just got her nails on skeletons in my closet. Go open the door when Yale comes. They ain't gonna wanna see my silhouette rap. Be fucking cognac, my smelling all black. Mississippi vagabond, granny gon' turn up in her grave and say my granny really was a slave for this. All your incompleted similes and pages ripped. Now they whipped this niggas, how you afraid to rap it? You was a heaven after.
But NoName mostly wants to be known for her voice. She wants to be known for her impact, her voice, her literature, and her style of poetry in her rap music rather than her body. Hence why every time you see her, you notice that she's not over-sexualizing herself. And she has a huge following on Twitter, and she often uses her Twitter account to basically speak on political issues and speak on a lot of things. Now, NoName also has a book club, and a big part of this book club is basically reading books that were banned from African Americans of ever reading. A big reason why she started her book club was, if you guys didn't know, back in the day, there's a lot of historical things that a lot of white people did to black people to prevent them from reading books. Not only that, when it was legal for black people to read, a lot of white people banned certain books and banned certain publishing, certain things to be in books to prevent black people from being educated about their history. Now that we live in a world of social media, and now that we live in a world where things aren't as bad as they were back then, now it's easier for black people to have access to these things. Now that you guys know who NoName is, NoName basically got a lot of backlash last month. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the controversy that happened. NoName got a lot of backlash because if you didn't know, last month she put out a very controversial tweet. And this tweet basically said this.
So she posted this tweet and it pretty much went viral. And basically she said, "This is me consistently creating content that is primarily consumed by a white audience who would rather shit on me than challenge their liberalism because somehow liking Lizzo's music absolves them from racial tendencies." Now that stirred controversies because she's basically implying that she looks like a clown because technically only white people are the ones who show up to her shows. And she doesn't want white people coming to her shows and being the only ones primarily there because, she says the N-word in a lot of her songs, and she hates the fact that white people scream the N-word at her while she's performing, even though it's in the lyrics of her songs. She doesn't like it because to her, she connects to a black audience and is speaking in a black girl's perspective, and to her, performing in front of white people just makes her uncomfortable.
Her tweet basically said, "This is how I look when I'm making music that appeals to more of a white audience." And after she said that, she got fucking dragged. Mind you, this has over 36,000 likes. So you can already see the backlash this comes from. And now we live in a world where every time you bring up racism, white people are ready to crawl out of the crevices like roaches. Like, we go through racism too! Oh my god! Stop! What about when you guys are racist towards us? They're ready to crawl out of the crevices like roaches. That's just like a normal thing, Every time a black man gets shot, every time a black girl gets kicked out of school for having braids, every time a black man is assaulted or harassed by a cop, hey, are you gonna eat that mayonnaise? That's just how it is. So a big question for following is white. Now, you can see how this started a lot of controversy and got her in a lot of trouble because she's basically biting the hand that feeds her. Because since most of her followers are white and most of her fans are white, a lot of people were accusing her of being racist. A lot of people were just like, bitch, you're a racist. And basically, there was a lot more tweets after that. And I'm going to just insert a clip of somebody else breaking that down.
Y'all really pushing the idea that black people can't come to my shows because of black death and financial restraint, as if the Baby, Megan, and Smino shows ain't black as heck. Say you don't like my stuff and move around. What's funny is most black artists are just as uncomfortable performing for majority white crowds, but would never publicly say that out of fear and allegiance to the dollar, which is not a bad thing necessarily, cause people gotta eat. But y'all wouldn't be up in arms if I quit working at McDonald's. And somebody said, I feel like the black demographic that likes your music isn't really the concert going type, speaking from my own perspective, and that's why you see white folks at your shows so much more. We ought to do better though. And she said, that's real. Unfortunately, I'm not going to keep performing for predominantly white crowds. I have 2 shows on the books, then after that I'm chilling on making music. If y'all don't want to leave the crib, I feel it. I don't want to dance on stage for white people.
So, y'all have a good gist of what happened last month. Now, last month was a really, really bad month for NoName because, like she said, a lot of people who consume her music are white. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, a lot of people don't know this, but a big portion of mainstream rap is supported by white people. Believe it or not, at one point, the industry and people used to shun rap music because they thought it was too black. It used to be called jungle music. Believe it or not, it was called jigaboo music. That's what it was back in the day. They thought it was just a whole bunch of southern black just talking about nothing and nonsense. And at one point, rap, which was created by black people, wasn't getting pushed to the forefront. You know, they were getting snubbed at the VMAs, snubbed at the Grammys. Did you guys know Ice Cube doesn't even have a Grammy? Did you guys know that people like Aaliyah doesn't have a Grammy? People like J. Cole and so many people don't have awards for literally releasing the most dopest body of work through rap music. But yet, rappers like Post Malone. Did you guys know that Post Malone is like the hottest rapper in the world right now? Aside from Drake, Post Malone is the hottest rapper in the world right now as far as sales. Post Malone sells and he's not even black. So you see where I'm coming from? So a lot of times when NoName is speaking on this issue, a lot of people are accusing her of being racist. But realistically, if you think about it, I see why she's upset. Now, this makes her comes across as a little bit ungrateful. Because for me, when I first read that, I was like, girl, how dare you sit up here and say that you're upset that black people don't support you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all, and I think I could speak for all of us watching this, have an upcoming rapper in our city, an upcoming singer that we know, or whatever. And a lot of times you see how talented they are, but they're not getting the praise they deserve. And a lot of times their own community doesn't want to support them until they make it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see it all the time. People from your city who are rappers and singers who are talented, who write their shit, don't get praised in their city by their own people, but yet they have to blow up in order for them to get support, and that's just what it is. Now, like I said, rap music has become a white man's game, and that's just the way it is. And as crazy and cringy as it sounds, it has been that way. Most of the people who buy records and most people who buy CDs are white. Most people who download and stream and loop your music constantly are white. You ever notice how most of the Lil Nas X's fans are white? Yeah, the reason he went #1 is because most of his fans are white, and that just is what it is. Because we live in a world where people of color have not been, especially black people, have not been conditioned to support one another. But white people will support each other to the fullest, Hence why whenever a white girl gets drafted wearing braids, here they come. Leave her alone! We can what we want! It's our hair! It's our hair! So you see where I'm coming from? So that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. And I know a lot of people are going to see that message and it's going to fly over their head. And if it flew over your head, you should feel pressed, bitch. But it just is what it is. Now, considering we live in a world where everything is just so anti-black, most of the time when you go to a rap concert, it's always predominantly white people. Now, I want to ask an honest question. This is for people who have been to a concert. If you've been to a concert full of mainstream artists, and I'm not talking like popular, I'm talking mainstream artists, look around. Most of the audience is white. I went to a Gucci Mane concert. Love Gucci Mane. Most of the audience were white boys. White boys jumping up and down, yelling nigga. I went to a Little Pump concert, and what else? Who else was there? Little Pump was there, Gucci Mane was there, Young Thug was there. So many people were there. So many popular black artists were there, and literally every time a Cardi B song came on, the white people were just like, "And I'm quick, cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable." Like, they were just getting it in. Like, that's just what it is. And I looking around, I remember when I first got to Rolling Loud, and if you guys didn't know, Rolling Loud is one of the biggest hip-hop music festivals in the world, and they're all over the world. Like, they're in Europe, they're in Miami, they're in LA, and they come once a year to basically a lot of the big cities of the world. And every time I went to Rolling Loud, or every time I went to Coachella, I look around, and I'm just like, where the niggas at? And I know that might sound kind of weird to people, but realistically, every time I looked around at a rap concert, every time I've been to a rap concert, I see that it's mainly white people, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a simple fact where it's just like, well, damn, like, this is black culture. Like, I want black people to come in and enjoy this shit. You know, when I went to Rolling Loud for the first time, I was just like, it was mostly white people, and then aside from that, there was like, you know, the Latinos, the mixed Latinos, and then that was it. I basically, every time I looked around, only saw white people. And then when I saw a black person, it was just like very rare. And then when I saw a black person, I was like, oh, black person. That's just how it is. Now, NoName has a reason to be upset, but at the same time, how dare you be upset at the fact that people are actually coming to your shows? You know how many artists are out there paying people to come to their shows and jump up and down? Joyner Lucas, a black artist, a rapper who was coming up. He's popping now, but before he wasn't so popping. Did you guys know that Joyner Lucas said that before he made it and blew up, back in 2013, 2014, he said that he used to have to pay people to come to the front of his concerts to jump up and down and get the crowd hyped. Because normally when you go into a concert, if the crowd around you is hyped, it's going to make you want to get hyped. So he used to pay people to come in the front to jump up and down and get hyped. And that's sad. It's sad that NoName has an audience and she has a concert right in front of us. And it's just like, you have people paying to see you and you don't even appreciate the people. And I understand her frustration because at the end of the day, I had asked one of my friends, I asked her opinion. She makes natural hair videos frequently, not too often, every once in a while. And basically I asked her, how does she feel knowing that a lot of white people follow her? She said she didn't care. And I said, okay, how do you feel when white people watch your videos for your 4C hair tutorials? And she told me, well, I mean, sometimes that makes me feel some kind of way because it's not for y'all asses. Why the fuck are y'all here? And then I got somebody's opinion who goes to an HBCU. And if you guys didn't know, white people sometimes attend HBCUs. Now, a lot of y'all who go to HBCUs, been to an HBCU, some of y'all might be cringing, but that really happens. White people do go to HBCUs. They just go because sometimes they love the culture. Sometimes they want to try something different. Now, a big reason why a lot of people are offended when people come into their spaces is because a lot of the times the people who create these spaces don't get enough credit for it. Now, NoName is a huge liberal, a huge black activist. You know, she has a beautiful voice, beautiful sound, and she often expresses the fact that she's a young black girl who grew up in Chicago. She's 28 years old, and she speaks about her story. She tells her story about her self-acceptance and, you know, people growing up around her dying, her grandma dying in the hood because she couldn't afford to get medication. You know, she talks about all this stuff in her music, but she's also she's a huge lyricist. She's a huge lyricist, and she's very poetic with her words, and that appeals to white people. Black people love her, but white people love her as well. For example, y'all might not believe that she has a mainly white audience, but here's some clips.
You ain't really yours, you're really for baby season and shit always under season. Like you really thought of this thing around, huh? Maybe you can answer for that. A cracker with a right-wing administration that niggas is still scared of. Actually,
Do y'all see what I see? Notice how every single person, almost every single person at least, majority of the audience is white. Majority of people singing the lyrics are white. And I remember she actually, you know, when people were trying to hold her accountable and was like, oh, well, bitch, you know, at the end of the day, some of your black fans might be hipsters. Some of them might be hipsters who don't care to go to concerts, and that sometimes is the case. But at the same time, she brought up a very good point. NoName basically said, oh, really? Okay, well, most of my black fans are hipsters who don't want to come to my performances. Okay, cool. Well, what about when DaBaby or Megan Thee Stallion or when somebody like Lil Uzi comes out? A big portion of their audience is black. It's just like black people don't have a problem going to their performances. Black people don't have a problem going to the Baby audience, because I remember the Baby had came to Rolling Loud one time, and literally all the black people came out. I was like, whoa, like, where'd y'all niggas come from? And that's just what it is. A lot of times, black people are only attracted to the train wreck of things. They like the twerk shit. They like the South Side hood shit, the killing shit, because that's what they want to jump up and down to. And it's what it is. And I can't really blame NoName, because realistically, a lot of us have our views as well. Now, white people, black people, Latinos, Asian, if y'all, whatever, a lot of y'all who watch me, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can agree when I say this, that sometimes when you want to go to a party, you want to go to an event, if it's a lot of times, if it's not people who look like you're a lot of times not going to want to go. Black girls, black boys, if you're going to a party and you know that it's going to be predominantly white people and they're going to be playing country music and Adele and pop and Ariana Grande, will you be attending? 9 times out of 10 you won't, because you know people who look like you aren't going to be there. They're not going to be attending. So you know what I mean? So it's like it's just a true statement. Realistically, black people only want to be around their kind. And NoName has spoke on this in the past. Now I know some of y'all might be saying she's probably just projecting some bullshit she read on Twitter, because who knows? Who knows? Somebody probably said something to her that triggered her. And she spoke on this a year ago, actually.
Incredible. What's your favorite type of crowd?
Probably an all-black crowd. I'm not gonna lie to you, and that's really, it sounds petty, but I'm writing music from my black woman perspective.
Yeah.
Outside people who are not within that community and within that framework still like the music. So I'm blessed that people are supporting me regardless. But there's a different level of just comfortability that I personally feel when I am playing predominantly black crowds. If you are coming to my show, if you are coming to a NoName show, you will experience like the feeling of being embraced and a good time and love and all that. But if it is a predominantly like white audience, it comes up. It comes up because there's no way for it not to. When I'm like, when my music is just driven by like black stories and just like black plight, it's hard for me to perform and then not acknowledge the fact that the space is completely white.
Yeah.
But my art is so heavily trying to promote blackness. I think it's really important to share your message and have your music be available and your art be available to the world.
Yeah.
But also for me personally, it's important to specifically push my messages to people who look like me as well.
Right. And she still stands by it. She said that she was appreciative, and then boom, fast forward to a year, now she's not with it no more. She said last month that she's done performing and she's done making music. She's actually going to be at Coachella this year. Coachella's in a couple of months from now, right? So, a lot of people saw her name on the Coachella lineup, and people were just like, Raggy? Fancy seeing you here, bitch. I thought you said that you weren't performing no more. So then she wanted to put up a little shady post, and she basically posted the Coachella lineup, and she posted it on her Instagram. But what was shady about it is she posted the caption on her Twitter and on her Instagram, and then she turned off her comments on her Instagram. And on the caption for her Twitter and her Instagram, she wrote, contractually obligated post. Basically saying that she's contractually obligated to post that. So NoName posting that felt a little bit shady, and a lot of her fans were just like, bitch, really? Like, you're really trying to be shady right now? Like, you just quit music last month, and now you're posting that you're going to be at Coachella, basically to say, oh, you're contractually obligated to post it. It's just like, you know, she put the kissy face emoji too, and a lot of people just saw it as a, bitch, really? Like, now you're just, like, poking fun at the fact that people want you to come out. And when I read that and I saw the kissy face, I was just like, NoName is such a fucking Virgo. Virgos are the most prideful people ever. As much as they want people to listen, they're the most prideful people ever when it comes to self-respect and when it comes to proving a point. They're very prideful people. Virgos, stop it. You need to stop. Trevor Noah normally only has people on his show if they're mainstream artists or they're mainstream entertainers or they're huge mainstream public figures. NoName isn't a mainstream public figure, and he invited her onto her show, and she has this big platform and a whole bunch of people in the industry backing her, and she does this shit. She says, oh, you know what, since my people don't want to support me, I ain't making music no more. I understand you make music in a black girl perspective, but the people who put money in your pocket are the people who come to your show. Not every single person who comes to her show obviously is white. I'm sure there's already like 5-6 black people in the audience, or maybe 30 or 40. But, you know, the majority, which is white, probably outweighs the minority. And that's just the way the world is. And I know it probably made her uncomfortable, and she has a good point. A lot of times, when I was in the audience and I was, you know, watching, you know, people like Gucci Mane, or I was, you know, in the Cardi B audience, hearing everybody say, nigga. Like, she said that she feels like she's dancing around the stage like a monkey. Last month she said this. Like, she said she doesn't want to feel like she's dancing on stage. She doesn't want to feel like a mammy dancing on stage trying to, you know, make white people entertain. Like, she feels like she's just a test monkey. And I get it and I understand it. But at the same time, why are you biting the hand that feeds you? You're blessed enough to have people come to your shows. You know how many people only have like 80 people at their shows? There are people who literally never get booked again because they're too busy only getting 80 people coming to their shows. Only 60 people come to their shows, and you're just over here like, oh, I ain't performing, and I'm quitting music. It's just like, it's a sense of entitlement, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect NoName, and I really love her craft and her art. But for me, that was very much a letdown. It was very disappointing, and it seemed very shameful for her to sit up here and say that she doesn't want to be a monkey for white people. I respect it, and I understand it. But you're really gonna quit music just because your people don't support you? She sounds just like people from my city who say, man, I don't care, man. I don't want to be no local rapper no more. My people, my black people don't want to support me. My black people don't want to support my black business. And that's just what it is. Sometimes black people don't feel conditioned to support other black people. It is what it is. I know some people love to say, it's not about race. It is about race. Black people have felt conditioned not to support one another. You know, at one point, you know, way back in the day, only white people had access to record stores. Only white people had access to, you know, CD stores. A lot of things in general play in the fact of why black people don't come. And plus, concerts, things like Coachella and all that stuff, concerts where people want to pop up and show up and stuff, a lot of times, you don't see a lot of black people at these big music festivals because they're so expensive. You know how much my ticket to fucking Coachella was? I paid $1,000 for a fucking ticket. For a last minute ticket. I paid $1,000 for it. My Rolling Loud ticket, my hip hop Rolling Loud ticket, I paid $400 for that shit. Matter of fact, $508 plus tax. That shit was expensive. The average minority isn't gonna sacrifice their time or money to see a performance when they could just see you for free. They could just stream your music for, you know, for a monthly subscription. You feel me? The average minority doesn't have the patience, money, or energy to support you and come to your shows if to them it's not 100% worth it. Because she makes soulful, jazzy, chill, laid-back music that a lot of hipsters would like, and a lot of her fans are black, but a lot of her fans are also white. And realistically, the only people who are privileged enough to sacrifice time and money to come to your show and support you are the majority, because the majority just always have had an upper hand because they're the ones who could sacrifice money and time. Sometimes they're the ones who are privileged as far as money and financing to come to your shows, and that just is what it is. Is it sad? Yes, it's very sad, but at the end of the day, we can't get mad at the players. We can only get mad at the game. Don't hate the players. Don't hate the audience. Hate the game. And she has a good point. She said a lot of people would rather shit on her than test their liberalism. They would rather shit on her and say, "Oh girl, you always talking about race. Oh girl, you always did it." But they don't want to listen to where she's coming from. They just want something to shake their ass to. And sometimes there is a huge debate if white people even understand hip hop, and sometimes that's the case. Sometimes white people don't understand hip hop. Sometimes they just don't. Sometimes white people just want to shake their ass to shit. For example, you think white people can relate to "Keep Your Head Up"? "Keep Your Head Up" is one of Tupac's most popular songs, and that song is iconic. Like, it speaks to me. Like, if you want a song that's gonna uplift you as a minority, listen to "Keep Your Head Up." It's inspirational. It gives me chills because it's so beautiful. Because I can literally relate to it. Like, it speaks to me. But white people love "Keep Your Head Up" too, and they don't know what the hell he's talking about. They just love the fact that, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, like that's literally them. They can't relate to it. Some white people can, because some of them might have grown up in the slums, but they can't relate to the experience of being a minority. They just can't relate to it. And NoName has to understand that sometimes when it comes to mainstream rap, or when it comes to being a rapper in general, it has now become a white person's ball game. Like, now that white people have been able to find a way to connect to it and dance to it, now it's profitable. It's only profitable because white people know how to shake their ass and dance to it. And it's sad, but it is what it is. And, you know, she does have a reason to be upset, but like I said, don't bite the hand that feeds you. You're blessed enough to have a group of people that want to come to your shit, and it seems like you're being a little bit ungrateful. Love you, girl, but you sound incredibly ungrateful to people who come to your shows. Like I always said, a wise woman once told me, and I want y'all to take this to your grave, because this is going to change your life. If you throw a party or you throw an event, don't be mad at the people who aren't there. Be glad at the people who are there. Because realistically, think about it. Let's say you throw a party, right? And let's say you invite over 2,000 people and only 100 people come. Only 30 people come. Only 18 people come. Are you going to sit at the door sad, like, damn, where is everybody? Damn, why isn't there more people? Oh my God, there's only a few. Are you going to be mad that there's only a few people here? Or are you going to get glad that people actually came to support? Like, why? What's the point of getting mad at the people who didn't show up to support you? Why not be grateful to people who want to connect? You know, why not get people to listen and connect? Why not use your music and your liberalism and your, use of activism and politics to educate and inform and open people's minds about your art? Why not open people's minds? And even if they can't relate to it, why not try to make them relate to it? And plus, she does say nigga often in her song, and her main issue was she doesn't want white people screaming nigga at her. And I get it. You don't want people screaming nigga at you. I understand that. But at the same time, you could censor yourself. You could change the lingo. You could censor it. And like she said in her tweet, nope, I'm not changing my art. It is what it is. I'm quitting. Okay, well, great. Well, I mean, look at the clips. Even look at her book club. Look at her interviews. Look at her live interviews. Look at this picture. Mainly white people are there. Like, it is what it is. You can't control it. Kendrick Lamar, most of his fans are white. SZA, most of her fans are white. Ella Mai, most of her fans are white. Doja Cat, most of her fans are white. Nicki Minaj, go to Nicki Minaj concert, a lot of people there are white. And that's what happens. Sometimes you have to appease to a white audience in order to get exposure, because there's no money in speaking on political things and expressing your activism, because white people sometimes can't connect to it. Sometimes if you're lucky and your beat is catchy enough, they'll be hip to it. They'll be with the whoa shit, but realistically, if you can't connect to them or find a way to make them like it, you won't really get far in the industry. And that's just the way things are, and you can't change it. And we have a lot of work to do. So I don't think people should be dragging NoName for being racist, because let's not sit up here and act like white people experience racism. This is oppression and this is racism. You see this line? This is oppression, this is racism. This is Latinos, blacks, Asians, indigenous people. And then this is white people. Y'all are above the line, historically and systematically. Oppression, minorities. White, minorities, the line of oppression, okay? We are below the line. So let's not act like NoName is being a racist. She's not. She's being an asshole, yes. Give her the card of her being an asshole. Give her the card of being an ungrateful asshole, yes. But at the same time, she's a Virgo. And at the same time, people can hold her accountable. But let's use the right terminology, okay? So, NoName, you're a big girl. I don't know if you ever see this video. I'm sure she won't see this video. But what I do know is most artists don't create music to be famous. Most artists don't create music to be loved. Most artists create their art to be seen and heard. And then from there, they're able to interpret it any way they want. You know, NoName has a massively popular following. And she has popular songs with Chance the Rapper. She has a song with J. Cole. She's making mad royalties and residuals off of a lot of her older stuff. She'll be fine. She doesn't need to perform, and she doesn't need to make any more music. She's literally fine. And it sucks because, hey, what's the point of not sharing your gift with the world? For all y'all out there who have gifts, if you're a musician, a poet, a writer, if you're good at writing scripts, or you're good at writing books, and you have a lot of ideas, your ideas are worthless if you're not sharing it with the world. Anybody can have an idea, but not everybody can share it with the world. Not everybody will share it with the world. And it's selfish not to share your gift with the world. It's just selfish. So share your gift with the world. Share it with people. Because there's somebody out there that might need it. There's probably a young black girl out there that looked up to NoName. And when she made those tweets saying that she's giving up music, that person's probably crying in their room. Probably very upset. That person was probably 15 years old and probably can't afford to go to a concert. Then there's no point in complaining. If you're not going to change and you're not going to change for the world, there's no complaining. You don't need to change for the world. But what you do need to realize is people have a right not to support you. People have a right to look the other way. People have a right not to listen. So that's what she has to understand and respect. And she is being a little bit too sensitive when she says that she's upset that her people don't support her. But I understand it. I understand it. When your people don't support you, it's the most painful thing in the world. You know how painful it is when I was first doing YouTube videos and I had people in my family saying like little shady things like, oh, you're only making that much? At one point, I was only making like 150 on YouTube. And then I had a family member tell me, you might as well get a real job then. Or you might as well, mind you, I'm in high school starting a YouTube channel. Like literally like in school, like figuring out like what I want to do on YouTube, like what my goals are, what I want to do. Like you didn't think I wanted to be here. Like where I am right now as far as my following and my engagement, I wanted to be here. Like this is everything I ever dreamed of. So I don't care who supports me. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter and you watch me. I don't care if you're a white girl that watch me. I don't care if you're a little Asian girl that watch me. I've been recognized by white people. I've been recognized by Asian people. I've been recognized by black people. I've been recognized by mothers, grown women who have kids that are my age. And I love every single person that watches me because that means they care enough to listen to me speak. So, NoName needs to really reevaluate everything. And she shouldn't just be taking things so personal. Like, she needs to reevaluate everything. Because 5 years from now, she might look back on this and regret this Twitter rant. But hey, it is what it is. And you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. So, I'm going to end it here. I hope a lot of people gain something from this video. I really want to know y'all thoughts and what y'all think about NoName quitting music. And also, what y'all think about her shady post saying contractually obligated to post. And I'm going to go the fuck to sleep and enjoy my broccoli cheddar soup. And also, for a lot of y'all who made it to the end, please be mindful that my podcast comes on February 1st. And it's going to be a monstrosity. It's going to be insane. If y'all think I'm crazy here, wait till my podcast drop. So my podcast comes on February 1st. February 1st, don't forget it. And also, remember, click that card marshal link. I would really appreciate it. Click that link. Click. Also, if you click that card marshal link and stay on the site, search for your zip code and all that stuff. And, look at the prices. That helps me a lot. The longer you stay on the site, the better. So, just, search something out. Type in your zip code. You might find a car you might like. And, blase. Check out card marshal. And, yeah. Click that link. That's how I get paid. I get paid per click. That's a good way to support me. And yeah, that's that. Bye.
Concrete jungles, there's nothing you can do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. These lights will inspire.